Hey, how's it going, guys?
What's up, peeps?
So in this podcast, we talked to our good friend Kenny Bobbyy, and he talks about how he got started as a creative as well as the journey where it has taken him. And we also dive into some creative ways to switch up your creative style.
And how gaining a new perspective on what your work is worth is really healthy as a creative.
So let's roll this podcast intro and let's get started.
Fire.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Roberto Guido.
And my name's Marissa Lewis.
And together we are
the Dos Cocos Locos.
And welcome to our podcast.
So our goal with this podcast is to drop as much coconut fire, which is our way of saying life/business knowledge bombs, for creatives that don't necessarily know much about life or business, through conversations with one another as well as with other fellow creatives and dope people.
Our story has a lot of twists and turns, but basically we started by selling coconuts at the beach, and now we have our own photography and videography business. And it's through these conversations that we were able to really learn how to navigate this thing called life. Enjoy. Welcome everyone to the Dos Cocos Locos podcast. I almost messed up our own name. Wow, that's kind of I feel like I'm nervous because Kenny's nervous.
Oh man.
We're just kidding.
I'm just kidding.
What up, peeps? Today we have the Kenny Bobbyy
Hey.
What's up, guys?
on the podcast. We're very excited.
It's gonna be
I'm
lit.
excited. Thank you for having me.
Of
Yeah.
course.
To look at the camera or just
You can, whatever.
Wherever you are.
Whatever is comfortable to you.
let's go look at you guys.
All right.
That's fine.
There's no cameras in here, no lights, nothing, man.
All right.
There's nothing going
Yeah.
on past this table.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and let's roll this intro and then we'll get started. All right, Kenny, what's up, man?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, well, thank you so much for taking the time. And
Yes.
you freaking survived the hot drive over here.
Yes.
It's a scorcher. So
It's like 1,000 degrees outside now. I
Easily.
don't understand.
it's not getting any easier.
Yeah.
freaking
I feel
Florida.
like it's getting hotter like every day.
Every second, basically.
Yeah.
All right, Kenny. So we start off every podcast with this question, and then we just go from there.
Great.
Are you ready? It's really not that difficult of a question. Here it is. In one sentence, what is it that you do?
It could be as long or as short as you want.
Oof. I do a lot. A lot of traveling. A lot of photography. Yeah, a lot. Just a lot. Across the board.
You're breaking
Photos.
into DJing.
Videos. I'm starting to DJ. You
Yeah.
know, shout out to Cash, aka Freaky Donia.
Yes.
Videos, graphics, illustrations. If it pays, then I'll do it.
You'll be playing
you know?
around with that, yeah.
So
Damn, man, that's dope.
yeah, it's been so far so good. Can't complain.
We were just talking earlier. You're almost at a year and a half.
I am
Like officially.
officially.
Damn.
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster. Couple tough months, a lot
Yeah.
of tough months. I'm not
Yep.
gonna lie.
Dude, seriously.
Yep, same.
Yeah.
Same.
We're here, you know.
Dude,
Listen.
I feel like people don't understand, like, it really is a roller coaster. Like,
Yeah.
It's
Like
month
daily.
to month, like daily. You don't know if this month's gonna be it.
yeah. You're like, is this
Yeah.
how far I made it?
Yeah.
No,
Just
yeah,
get your
man.
teeth, you know, get by, figure out what you're gonna do for the next month, and
And just take it from there.
yeah, take it from there.
That's wild.
And
bro.
just keep going.
Yeah.
So, I know we've already talked about this. We made coffee that one time, and that whole thing should have been a podcast. It was great. But how did you get started in photography?
Oh man.
And then how did you really get started in photography?
So I had my first camera because, God bless her soul, Tina. She was a friend of mine. She went to USF. Believe it or not, I had a fashion blog. It's so weird saying
Wow.
that. I had a fashion blog.
That's cool.
Like I was super into street etiquette, and it was like an online editorial, like just displaying and broadcasting like different styles and self-expression and you know other people. So I want to do something like that, you know, bring that to Tampa because Tampa doesn't really have that. So this was back in like 2013 maybe. So you know we did this for a little while, and then she was like, "Hey, I need you to buy a camera so you can practice your angles, and you know we can kill this." So I'm like, "Cool," because you know like she can't shoot me all the time. I still need to practice.
Right.
I'm an awkward turtle in front of the camera. Like it's been understood. So I bought one. I ended up, you know, playing around every once in a while, and then met a friend through Instagram, and we'd start shooting. That turned into us going out. Like after work at night and just messing around. I learned how to shoot like night photography first, which is completely backwards.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Nobody ever does that. Like, it's always during the
No.
daytime, and then you
transition eventually.
me again, awkward turtle.
You're like, I'm just gonna do it.
I'm just gonna learn at night.
Yeah,
Dude, that's hard.
it's super hard.
Dang.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So climbing buildings, billboards, you name it.
Spider-Man style, for real.
Breaking the law almost daily. But we figured it out. We got good at it. After a while, like, people started reaching out, asking me, "Hey, do you mind shooting this, or you would want to do that?" So I'm like, it's extra money. Why not?
Yeah.
I later got approached by a company named Odd Socks, a sock company. I don't know where they're at now, but at the time, like, they were doing a lot. They reached out to me like, "Hey, we want you to shoot for us." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" They're like,
What do you mean?
"We need an in-house photographer to shoot all of our product, any events that we have. Pretty much like, you're gonna be our main shooter." So I went for it.
That's cool.
And they gave me my opportunity, honestly. I shot the first Rolling Loud with them
Wow.
on the main stage, saw Travis Scott. This was like days before Rodeo Travis, so like
Dang.
way back.
Wow.
Yeah. Crazy. After that, it just never really stopped. Did a lot of shows, worked with Dope E&T before they turned into Rolling Loud. So anything that was in Florida, I was pretty much on the job.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He says so casually. He's like, yeah, I did all that cool stuff.
Yeah, like cool stuff.
Hey,
So
man.
many moons ago.
Yeah.
It was like that.
That's freaking awesome.
I don't know if that answered the question exactly, but
I don't remember what my question was.
how did I get into it? So
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
Tina.
Yeah.
Tina
Yeah.
got me into it.
Tina, thank you for blessing
Yeah.
the world
Shout out to Tina. She's
For
killing
real.
it
with
now.
this. Yeah. Dude, that's awesome. I remember, I don't remember what show we were at. It was at Lot 1901.
Mhm.
And I saw these photos that you took, and they were up on the wall, and it was of Post Malone.
Yeah.
And it was just like a glow of just like, wow.
For real.
And you said that you were in his dressing room, just like chatting it up.
Yeah. It was that
Let's
was
talk about that.
Okay. It was when he actually first came out. So I met him maybe 3 months prior at Rolling Loud again, ironically, because he was on the same stage that I was shooting everyone else on. So he did White Iverson, like,
So nonchalant. You just happened to be on the same stage that I was shooting
yeah, it
everyone
was cool.
else. That's cool.
He did that. Met him, super cool. He ended up coming to Tampa. Odd Socks brought him back. They worked with, I think it was Dope that brought him down, but in any case, he was there, killed his show. Afterwards, we were backstage. It was me, him, his mom, and his girlfriend. Just hanging out. Like, we're all on the couch talking. And super cool guy, like, probably like one of the sweetest people like you'll ever meet. Just super down to earth, chill. Just like a regular human being. Like, you wouldn't expect that, because especially back then, like, he was really blowing up, and I mean, it's Post Malone.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Big deal, bro.
So I talked to them. I was backstage, and I asked him, like, "Hey, would you mind if I got a couple portraits?" And it just, like, the way everything worked out, it was unreal. Like, he stood in front of this light, and it was super bright, and so, like, he had this, like, glow, like, an aura around him, and, like, he had his grills in, so he just looks cool. Like, he's cheesing.
Yeah.
Snapped the photo, and I was looking at my camera, I'm like, wow, like, this is gold.
Like that, I dug that. That happened. That's crazy.
That one ended up getting a lot of love. A lot. Like, I never really printed it until that show. All those photos from that show, for Merge Culture, I had never done anything with. They're over like 5-6 years old.
Wow.
So it's kind of weird.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's freaking awesome. All right, so we talked about how, like, you're already at a year and a half. So how did you jump into this full time? Like, how did you get there?
Yeah.
Because I feel like everyone's story is slightly different,
It's,
but also kind of the same.
I don't know. To be honest, like, I don't know, it's a blessing, honestly. Like, everybody around me who just looked out, I couldn't have done it without them. Honestly, just showing love. It's weird. Like, a lot of my business isn't from my site or Instagram per se. It's more word of mouth. So it's people that'll refer me like, hey, check him out. He's a cool guy. He does pretty dope work. And so, you know, I take it in stride, but it's a lot of hustling, a lot of grinding.
Yeah.
Even then, because the work doesn't always come to you, so you got to go out and find it. Getting in people's faces, telling them what you can do, offering the service. It's a lot of dealing with, oh man, I don't even know, like, I'm not gonna say bad business, but people that don't necessarily respect your work.
Yes.
So
I think we're starting to see that.
I think, yeah. We've, past couple, I want to say like
Things
months.
that we've done. Yeah.
A couple like big projects. Like, we're starting to think like, wait a minute. I think we're kind of not getting like taken advantage of.
But you're underselling yourself.
Underselling ourselves, yeah.
And that's something that I've gotten like way more serious about this year specifically. Last year it was like, okay, I'm doing this. I need the money. I really can't be in a position to be like, you got to pay me this.
Right.
Like, now, like, got to humble myself and then like really work myself up to that point. But I had to sit back and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to survive. I'm buying equipment. I'm traveling. You know, like, this stuff isn't paying for itself.
Right.
I really need to sit down and start factoring in what this is costing me.
Yeah, even editing time too.
Editing, that's the biggest thing. Like,
people don't see that. They're like, oh, you just went to this event. Where's all the photos and videos? And you're like,
they don't see
like,
the sleepless nights of you know.
Yeah, going through every single shot, making sure. Yeah, bro.
And so that's it's tough, but I mean, I don't know. It's crazy. Like, I think about it. I don't know. A lot of people, like my mentor, he's helped me out a ton.
How
so my mentor, he does a lot of work with USF.
Okay.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, at university, obviously university money is a lot different than
Yes, it is.
everyday money.
Yeah.
So they pay me well, you know, to come out and shoot conferences or award shows. You know, send me out like, hey, I need this done, I can't make it, or I'll assist him. And even then, like, we get paid handsomely.
Yeah.
So how do you get a mentor? Or how did
you find a mentor? And then be like, you're going to be mine.
Because like,
to be honest, I was like, well, I met him. I was at an art show. Just randomly ended up showing up. And this was back when I was with Odd Socks. So it's been like years, like way back. Met him, he's like, what do you do? I'm like, oh, I shoot. He's like, okay, cool. Like, what do you shoot for? Give him the whole breakdown. And then he did something that nobody really does. He asked me a super personal question, like, how much are they paying you? I told him the price, and he was just like, nah. Like, straight up, he told me, like, nah. And I'm like, what do you mean, no? Like, he's like, they should be paying you way more. And that's where it was so weird. I'm like, wow, like, nobody's ever said that. Yeah. First of all, nobody's been like, how much is somebody paying you?
Right.
Just ask me straight up, and then I tell him. I don't know what I was thinking when I told him that anyways, but it was one of those things, like, and he's just like, nah. And then he broke it down, and he's just like, you gotta have them pay what you're worth. Like, that includes travel, and they need to pay for that. Like, it's cool if they want to cover your flight, but they still need to pay you for traveling.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow, like, what is this guy on? Like, what does he know that I don't?
Right.
So I started asking him questions this whole night. Like, I was there for like maybe 8 to like 1 or 2 in the morning. I'm in this guy's ear. Tell me about this. Tell me about that. You know, like, how should I do this? How should I do that? And he's like, you know what? Take my number down. Like, we can keep talking.
Again.
And like, he was super nice, super cool about it. And any other time, like, I just hit him up randomly, asking him questions. He then started taking me like with him. He's telling me about stuff that's happening in the city before it even happened. Like, the whole Riverwalk, he knew about it. And he's telling me, like, this was like 5-6 years ago. And he's like, 4 or 5 years, like, Tampa's not going to be the same. We got a lot of money being dumped into it. He's like, you need to know your stuff. You need to know what's happening in your city.
Wow.
Back then, I'm just like, yeah, sure, whatever. You know, like, I'm living out my dream. Like, I couldn't be any more happy. But, like, I'm not thinking the way he's thinking. He's thinking
like
future, 10 steps ahead.
10 steps ahead.
10 years ahead.
Yeah, it's literally. So that happens, and then, like, I quit photography, come back. I text him. I still had his number. I don't know how. I was like, hey, I'm getting back into photography. He's like, come to the office. No questions asked. And he's like, what are you doing? I'm like,
what are you doing, Kenny?
I'm trying to shoot, like I'm trying to work. He's like, okay, but what do you want to do? And I'm like, he's like, where does he come with this stuff?
Right? Like, who is this man? And where did he come from?
Yeah, seriously, it's just like, he's always just been one of those people, like, up my behind, you know, and ask me, like, the straight questions, expecting a straight answer. So, like, I think it's because of that. And then he knows my curiosity. Like I constantly wanted to know, and he was the best person to learn from.
That's cool.
So he's opened up so many doors, and I don't know, he's probably the reason why I'm still doing it right now.
Wow. That's cool.
Because
powerful stuff, yeah.
He challenges me, like, the way I think, the way I do business, and it's an ongoing thing. It's people like that. Like, I learned, you got to keep them close.
That's definitely true.
If nothing else. Like, he didn't have to give me any business, but he did. And he still does. And I'm not gonna ever tell him no, like, anything he needs. I feel like I'm almost forever indebted to him for getting me to this place.
That is so cool.
That's crazy, bro.
Damn.
Yeah.
So where do you want to go? What was your answer to that question? Where are you going? What do you want to do? We're still trying to figure that out. So
that's what we always ask.
Trying to learn from someone else. What are we gonna do?
It's up in the air because he's asked me. He's like, "What's the end game? What do you want to do?" And for the longest, I gave him the generic, I just want to create. And he just looks at me, he's like, okay.
Like, what does that mean?
And he's like, anybody can create. That's the whole thing he was trying to get across. Is like, you can create. It costs nothing to create.
Right.
So what are you really trying to do? So that's something that I've honestly battled, because there's so much you can do, and there's the money's out there. People have money.
Yeah.
What direction do I want to go with? That's the next question. Ideally, I'd like to be flown out across the world to just take photos, document things. National Geographic, that's at the top of my list. Like, put me on the wild. I don't like bugs, but
I'll figure it out.
You know,
like, if there's Find Me Out there,
I'll do it.
You know, put me on the magazine.
Snap some rhinoceroses.
Yeah, that would be like, oh man.
Yeah.
That's unreal.
Like, wow.
I think that's what, like, ultimately I want to work towards. I don't know how to get there. I don't know who you need to get in contact with, or who do they find you?
I have no idea.
I feel like they would just find you, like, hey,
you
like,
probably gotta enter something.
Yeah, you have to, like, know someone.
Just start tagging Nat Geo and everything, and then
You know, I think I might. I tagged them once.
Do it
I found a starfish at the beach. I took a picture with it. I was like, Nat Geo, you need to sign me.
This is it. This is the photo. Front cover.
I thought that was one that was gonna break me out, but I don't think they even saw it.
Listen. Keep tagging them.
Yeah.
I might have.
You never know.
If you think about it, how many people actually tag Nat Geo? Like, not a lot, probably, on the daily.
I mean, yeah, on the daily. Yeah.
On the daily, everything.
I get on Twitter and everything else. But
oh yeah,
Nat Geo, like, it's your boy.
Their culture too. It's not just like.
It's not just one lane. Like, they
yeah, you can really do a lot. It's not just animals and wildlife. It's
true. People, places, things.
Everything. Nat Geo. Hashtag coming for you.
Hashtag. Yeah, I don't know.
That's cool.
Besides that, just, I don't know. I want to make a difference, you know? I think everybody wants to in some way, shape, or form. I don't necessarily want the recognition. I just want to make sure, like, I did something,
like, you know, personally do that. Because you did this one thing and inspired this other person to do that thing. Yeah. I feel you on that.
That's cool. I think that's something we talked about too.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, we have no idea what we're doing, and we tell people that often just so they remember, because because it might look like we know what we're doing, but we really don't. And
not really,
we don't really have, our end goal has changed so many times. Like,
I feel it's one of those things that does change though, like, because I don't know, one thing I've learned, like, I have a milestone, like, if I get here, like, I'm gonna be good. I get that. I'm like, all right, well, that's not enough. Like, what's really gonna happen now? So
exactly.
I don't know. It's weird. That's so weird how that works. Like, you guys have been doing this. It's the year.
Today is the year.
You guys have hit all these milestones, and you're still working to get like past to the next thing.
Literally, our goal when we started was like, let's see if we can do this for a year. Today is our LLC's 1 year. Yeah. July 1st.
Should have got you guys a cake or something. Get you guys, like,
no, definitely not. But that, I don't know what time you started.
I don't know. I thought you knew the time.
I was not paying attention.
We're obviously professionals at this.
We're gonna take a quick pause because I
Quick
don't
break.
know when these are gonna turn
Break
off.
time. Hey, how's it going, guys?
I was ready for this.
We'll figure out the.
That was only 20 minutes of my head. Happens all the time.
Man.
Okay,
wild.
anyway, we're talking about our dreams.
Yeah.
No, but I feel like you were talking about like how it kind of changes over time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's just like life in general. Like if things aren't changing around in like what you're doing, then you're getting comfortable.
Time to reevaluate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously. I've had to do that a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like...
It's scary though, because it makes you think about like who you are as a person, and you're like, I don't know who I am for like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then people ask you, and I'm like, I'm still trying to figure out like who I am.
Like, please stop asking what my hopes and dreams are. I don't know what they are.
Right.
It's a work in progress.
I'm on a day-by-day basis right
Exactly.
now. Guys. Please just...
Oh my gosh, yeah. We read a lot of books.
Mm-hmm.
Hence our library that we're working on.
It's quite the collection.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
I'm hoping it'll be a wall one day.
That was pretty dope.
Like a whole wall. But started reading this book. It's by Mark Manson. Have you ever heard of the book Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck?
Yes.
That's a good book. This is his second book that he's written. It just came out this month. And it's called Everything is Fucked, a book about hope. And it is so good.
Is it?
Yeah, like I'm only a couple chapters into it, but it was talking about how it's just an interesting book. But it's talking about how we need hope to like live, and without hope in something, like you don't have to be hopeful about everything because not everything is going to turn out the way you want it to be. But you have to have hope in something in order to keep going, or else there's no real reason to pursue anything. Because if there's no hope in change, then
Just going through the motion.
exactly why even do the motion if there's no end result, no end product, no hope that something is going to be at the end. So another thing he was talking about is like fruitful visualization.
Mm-hmm.
So once you've achieved that hope, that end goal, you have to continuously have like this vision in your head of what you want next.
Right.
But your fruitful visualization should be something so like unfathomable and so inconceivable that you almost never achieve it.
Right.
But those steps that you like put in place to attempt to achieve it is where you actually find your real goals.
Sheesh.
And I'm like, damn.
He just breaks it down and is like, damn,
That's
like,
real.
really raw.
He's really
That is
good book.
Super real.
Like,
I need this book. Like,
I'll let you
That's
borrow
right
the
there.
gun.
Yes,
It's
blue one
a
right
blue
there.
one up there on that stack.
yeah, I'm
But
about to-
it's a good book. And his first book, though, was really good,
Yeah.
too.
I like that. I'm probably gonna read that again just because
Yeah.
I think that'll be
You need a
good.
little
It
refresher
is.
sometimes.
I read
yeah.
it twice. It was a really good book.
Yeah.
Like, it just... The things that he's, like, talks about, like... He's just freaking awesome.
Touched on the real subjects.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
was like, damn, my goals are not unfathomable.
Right.
And I think that's something like we've been struggling with recently is because we had these like massive goals and then we're like, those are too massive. Like, I don't know if we
Yeah,
can
right.
achieve them in the time
right.
frames that we wanted to achieve them in.
Yeah, we
So
got like a
then-
little nervous with it because we're like, this is just too crazy. And then we're like, we just need to make it to next month. So it's easy to kind of like,
Yeah.
it's like a pendulum. Like, you're
It
like,
is.
all right, let's go. Let's do this hardcore, like, dope stuff. And then you're like, wait, I just need to make it to this month. And we're like, but wait, I want to. So
Can't
it's,
forget about it. you
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
You always have to go back
In
to
your
it.
sights, for sure.
Damn.
So Nat Geo is your... I feel like that's fathomable though.
Is
I
it
think
though?
you need
Like-
something bigger.
Okay. What's bigger than Nat Geo?
I don't know. Something. I'm
Massive,
gonna create our own
NASA,
Go to
right?
space.
Yeah.
Penny Bobby.
Probably taking photos on Mars.
That'd be wild. Bro.
Man, I don't know. Like, do I want to go to space?
I don't know. Whatever it is that you
Yeah.
want to do.
I watch too many space movies where like people get stuck out there and they get
And they, like
stuck.
break off their arm.
Right, like, what was that
Throw
one
it.
with
Oh,
Sandra Bullock?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh my god, I watched it the other night and like, it literally gave me nightmares. I'm just like, I don't need this before.
No. All right, so not space. Maybe just space.
Anything
Now
but
where you're
space.
going. I mean, that shit was pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. Specifically, let me put me in the water. I can't swim anyway,
In the
so
water.
like that seems kind of like unfathomable. Like I got no business in the water.
All right.
I can't swim.
That'd be cool. But they have like those setups where you can bring your camera underwater and take like photos.
Oh,
and
have you
stuff.
seen those? Those are awesome.
I wanna
like
buy
this
one.
massive.
But again, like I have no business being in the water.
All right, there it is. It's
Does any human have business in the water?
No.
I mean, like I've taken like swim lessons. Mom put
Yeah.
me in like 3 years in a row.
Okay.
Take the class, pass. A week later, I'm at the pool. Guess who's drowning? Like I graduate,
You was
and it's
right.
like at that moment to get my certificate, everything I learned goes out the window.
You're like, here we go.
Like,
All of college. For you.
Basically.
Bad.
That's
Yeah, man.
funny.
But no, I mean that'd be pretty cool. Like sharks are pretty interesting to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Octopus, like giant octopus. Oh man,
Giant
I'd love to see one of
squids.
those. Yeah,
Giant squids.
yeah, those
Dude,
ones.
they're massive.
Huge. It's scary to think like there's something that big like just
That are
swimming
still
around.
alive today.
Minding their business.
Stuff that we don't
wreaking
know.
havoc.
Yeah.
Right?
And we're just
Dude,
like,
that'd be really cool.
we're
Go to
top
like
dive.
the bottom of the ocean floor and like take photos there where it's pitch black dark and you need like
man.
artificial light just to see.
All those strange critters down there.
And nobody knows. What's crazy about the ocean, I was going to be a marine biologist for a hot minute.
That's my
Actually, like a
sister.
long minute.
Yeah.
I was going to be a marine.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that.
I don't think I did.
I was going to be a marine biologist for a minute. And so I used to study a lot of like ocean life. And I'm like, this is cool. I would love to go down the bottom of the ocean. And like I used to watch a lot of documentaries on Animal Planet. I was going to say.
It's all tying in.
Yeah. But I don't know where I was going with that. There's a lot of the unknown that we don't know about the ocean. It's
That's scary.
freaking massive.
The water's like 70% of the earth, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a lot of water.
That's a lot of water.
That's a lot.
That runs deep. There's a lot of animals that we haven't even discovered yet. How
There's
crazy
some
is
that
that?
we haven't even discovered on land. So like, just
Right?
imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
It's crazy. We got off a little on topic, but
I think that was the unfathomable, the ocean.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's your unfathomable goal.
What is that? Oceanography? Is that it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the
That
thing.
sounds like a
Yeah.
word.
Sounds like we can make
Yeah.
We'll go with it.
Make it
Yep.
work.
Oceanography. That's what we're doing now. Oh, that's cool.
Dang. So, what I would want to know from you, Kenny Bobby, is what's your overall like creative process? Because we've talked to a few people on the guest, and they've had like different like tips and like quirks that they do to kind of get them in the mood to either go shooting or editing, stuff like that.
Or painting.
Or
Did
painting.
you know that Painkiller Cam wears thick socks when he's painting? It could be 1,000 degrees outside. He
He's
wears
one with the
thick
thick socks.
socks.
That is like, is that a comfort thing or
It's a comfort. Like,
to get him in the zone?
that's like how
to,
he
like,
gets
sweaty feet?
creative. I'm like, that's interesting. No, it's like the,
The cozy, like the house socks.
I guess so. We didn't see any of the socks.
He just talked about
He just talked about the socks. But he said it's like thick socks. So when his feet are on the ground, it's just like a little bit of comfort. I was like, interesting. And like the tight, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't have anything like that.
I don't either. That was just the person that came to mind. And I'm like, interesting. But whatever he's painting, thick socks.
Creative process. I don't know. So lately, like I've been super into shooting outside of Florida. If I do shoot like in Florida, it needs to be like
At a
raining
pop-up.
or a pop up. Yeah.
Plug, soft plug.
But, you know, like rain. Like I'm super into that. Like rain
like
photography.
the moody type.
I love
Yeah.
that. Like I feel like I've shot like you can never shoot like your city too much.
Yeah.
But it's so hot. Like I think that's the
Yeah.
biggest thing. Like
I think that's it.
Like that's a Navia.
This is not beyond.
I'd rather be soggy and wet
Yeah.
than to be drenched and
Sweat.
dying.
Yeah.
You know, like so rain photography has been super like something, and then
That's cool.
either that or like shooting the sunset after it rains. I don't know if you guys ever paid attention, but
I don't know that I have.
sunsets after it rains are undefeated. Like clouds, colors, everything's just like, it's beautiful. So
Oh, that's cool.
that gets me going.
You go to like the beach and do that, or just like
Where?
anywhere?
Like,
Anywhere.
just
If
wherever
I can get to it and like I can catch
you
it.
can see it. Yeah, dang.
So
Dude, I've actually that's interesting
cool.
because I've always wanted to like do like a vlog, because whenever it rains I see like the lights reflecting and stuff like while I'm driving, and I'm like, I know this is kind of like the middle of a street, but I would love to just take my camera.
yeah.
seriously,
Yeah.
like do it,
Yeah.
because it's like when it rains, it just puts a whole nother like perspective on whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like you have reflections and it's new added elements.
Yeah,
And I think that's what makes it so interesting to me, because the composition can go from one thing to something completely left field.
Yeah.
all in the same spot, and you're just like. So how do you protect your gear though? That's my question always.
In the
Nothing
rain.
safe.
Nothing safe.
Nothing safe.
Nothing safe. But like I walk around, like I have a jacket on, like protecting, like covering it. Like sometimes, like this one time I was out and like it wasn't a real jacket, and I'm
It was
like,
a fake jacket.
and it was small, so I'm like, okay, I can either like get wet and protect my camera, or I can try and stay dry, and then my camera's just gonna get soaked. I'm like, way too much money spent on this gear, so let me go and protect this. So like I'm out getting wet while, you know, my little jacket is.
Okay, so you just kind of your go-to is kind of like
Sacrifice.
your jacket
Yeah,
kind of thing, and then
that's
just
it.
don't worry about your body, just protect your camera.
Yep.
You know, if I get sick, what's new?
Yeah.
What's new? At
That's
this
true.
point?
I feel like we always
That's
sacrifice
true.
our health,
Yeah.
which
Yep.
is it's a good thing and bad thing.
It's a
It
give and
depends.
take.
Depends.
It's a give and take.
Glass is
Damn.
half full right now on that one. You know, I don't know. Outside of that, like, so last weekend I went to Georgia. I found a bamboo field, like forest
Wow.
In Georgia?
in Georgia.
A bamboo
Forest.
forest.
I was gonna post something today. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm ready to post it just yet.
Why?
The artist in me wants to be selfish. You know.
Keep it to yourself.
Why do we? Why you know? Like, well, why do we do that though? Like, it's
Well,
a selfish part of us that's just like, I don't want to share this
It's
with
mine.
you guys, not for any real reason, just
Yeah.
because I can say I don't want to.
Yeah, but I think it's also like once you share it, not that it makes it like less personal, but it's also like I feel like you're
I
kind of
feel like it's less yours
yeah,
once you
right.
share
yeah.
it.
Once you share it, it's like
Right.
something like it doesn't lose any value, but like there's something about it that's like not as special anymore.
Exactly.
Because now everyone
Because
kind
it
of...
only lives like on your SD card on your camera.
Yeah.
And then it's just like everywhere.
Once it's gone,
Instantly,
it's
once you
gone.
upload it.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, I don't know. I think I am then. You guys talk me into it.
Oh, we're not saying you have to post it or anything, bro.
I'm saying you have to post it. I want to see it.
I was just like, I want to see if you have your camera with you. That's fine.
I just want to see it.
I'll post it. I'll post it.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, like it's
Be
stuff
like,
like
those Cocos
that.
Locos forced me to post it.
That'll be my caption. Here you go, guys. Hope you're happy.
Thanks, I am.
So yeah, like traveling.
Yeah, just like a
That's-
change of scenery.
It has to be like at this point, not because like I'm bored, but just because like I've been craving that new perspective. That, you know, I love Tampa. Like, don't get me wrong. It's just like
Something new.
Yeah.
We're right there. We're right
Yeah.
there. We're actually planning a trip. A couple trips.
Ooh.
I just.
Oh, we gotta talk to you about this. What
Yeah.
about...
Oh, I'm down. Before we even figure that out. But yeah, I just like booked a flight to New York. So like
When?
Oh,
When?
When?
the end of July.
Okay.
Is it-
Okay.
Yeah, like 3 weeks.
Okay.
talk about.
Cool.
We're gonna
Yeah,
talk about
we'll talk about some stuff.
After this podcast. We're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
But we're planning on... Well, we're gonna do it. I'm not gonna say we're gonna do it. We're doing it.
All right.
It's gonna happen.
You're gonna talk about it.
December, we're going to Spain.
Let's go. Oh, unless you guys want to invite me.
No, I'm inviting you.
That would have been super awkward.
Yeah,
No, we're planning to Spain. We want to go.
That'd be cool.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Right.
Just get like group together or something.
Never been.
Just,
I've
like-
never been like across the pond, so it
I've never
should be
been
great.
outside the country.
Yeah.
I'm late. I'm 27. Like.
You're
I've been-
27, bro?
Yeah.
What?
Wow. Congrats.
I'm turning 28.
That's not
like,
late.
That's the name of the title. Kenny Bobby is 27.
27. Yikes. Yeah, put yikes. Not that.
Yikes.
Yikes.
That's not late in the game. So people never leave the country.
But it's
That's
just
true.
like, man, like I see all these other people like.
Why do you,
Can't
why do you,
compare.
why do you
We
think we
can't
compare?
compare.
We can't. But it's
we,
just like
we say it all the time too, but we
Yeah.
still do it too.
I
Why?
know.
It's human nature.
It's just human
It
nature.
is, like,
because we're always
damn.
observing other stuff. That's just what we do.
Yep.
So
It's a bad habit.
Right.
But also,
But it
people
helps
can-
you create goals, I think, sometimes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So yeah, there you go.
España.
There you go.
All right. Well, let me get my passport and
Do that. They're not that
And
expensive.
it's a long flight too, so you can read a book.
Yeah.
couple books.
I'll give you that book.
You know?
Yeah.
That might work. Might be onto something here, guys.
Big fun. Yes.
Let's do it. Dang. So any
exciting.
projects in the works?
It works. I'll let you know after my next couple trips.
Where are you going?
Well, you got the New York trip.
New York at the end of the month next week. My boy actually texted me like on the way. He's like, "Are we still good for New Orleans next week?" I'm like,
Yeah.
Calendar, yeah.
So I mean, it's sounds great. So hopefully that'll work itself out. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and say yeah, I'm gonna go. So
Up.
it's like I'm here this week. Next week, New Orleans. Here the week after that, New
Dang.
York. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Fingers crossed I make it. You know, like
It's gonna be good.
Whew.
You're gonna rest this week a little bit.
Yeah, rest up.
For Orlando, and then
You know what? I do have a couple things going on.
go ahead, list them out.
I don't know if I can talk about them though.
This will come out
You
in
know
probably
what?
2 weeks. So
Oh, true.
when you're in New Orleans,
I actually can't. I'm sorry, guys.
it's fine. We'll talk about it after.
Yeah.
Because I may
Top
talk
secret.
about
Top
them.
secret.
Along with
Sorry.
another top secret project we're working on.
Sorry, listeners. we're not gonna
You'll
share.
know about them
We're not gonna share anything with you guys.
someday. Actually, we're gonna just redact this whole podcast.
We just scratched this whole scene.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Dude, but that's exciting.
Yeah, man.
That there are things in the works.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always good to do. And sometimes it's good to like not always share like your moves. And that's totally
Yeah.
I
fine.
read something. It was just like along the lines like stay low key, keep your moves to yourself until they're made.
Yeah, and then let your actions speak for yourself.
I'm like, man, like, how real is that? Like,
Yeah.
I think that's something that people are bad at as like the whole our generation. Like, we
Yeah.
love to showcase and broadcast
that's true.
everything that we do.
Yeah. And sometimes you morph it into like saying more than what is actually going on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's crazy.
Get you
Which
in
is not
trouble.
good.
Yeah.
But in the same devil's advocate token, I feel like sometimes I need to share things with people so then they hold me accountable and then I get it.
Oh, for sure. No, you have to like. I feel like with
Yeah,
your
you gotta-
immediate like
you gotta figure-
circle,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
definitely need that. Like, especially with the people closest to you, because they're
Yeah.
the ones not to take your shit.
Yeah.
Keep you in
That's
check.
true. Because they're like, oh, you said you were gonna do this. Like, what happened?
Like, did you do it?
Yeah.
Where are you at?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. So you gotta definitely
Definitely
pick
need
and
that.
choose
Mhm.
for sure. Dang, Kenny.
Yeah, guys.
That's wild. So we like to end all our podcasts like this,
Hey.
but
There's
before
one
we give,
question.
but before we give you the question, is there anything else you would like to let the audience know
And share.
and share about you?
Can you turn our palm tree back on and turn it off?
Out there
There we go.
the second time.
Anything else? I don't know. Thank you guys for having me. This has been quite the experience.
Thank you for coming.
We held Kenny hostage.
Yeah, I made it on this podcast. Or like, I literally put him in a corner. I'm like, when can we do this, Kenny? I'm pulling out my calendar.
She pulled out the calendar. Like, once the calendar's out, there's no turning back. I'm like, I'm free Monday.
I made it happen.
Yeah, but thank you, man. Like, yeah, we
Yeah,
definitely.
thank you. For real.
Thank you guys.
It's like a big friend trap, really.
Yep.
That's what it is.
It's a good trap to have. I like it.
Thanks. So, we always like sharing our struggles because like this life is not easy, and we always push that because like people want to do what we're doing, and we're like, listen, like you saw us like right before you came, I was just eating rice,
Yeah.
like, straight up. Like
White
people don't
rice.
like see that shit. Like it's real. Like we're struggling out here, but we like to share our struggles because one, it helps us because someone else might have gone through the same struggles that we've had, and in return they can kind of help us or something like that. Exactly. So, is there anything that you're struggling with right now, or is there anything that someone can do with that struggle to help you out today if they were to listen to this podcast?
Oh man, I mean, see, my Cash App is.
For real,
Give a
though.
love.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Like, that's a tough question, man. Like, that's
Makes you think.
Right?
yeah. I'm not used to being like I guess like vulnerable in that sense. Like,
Yeah.
this is what I'm struggling with, the guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
help me.
Let the universe know, bro.
I don't know. You guys definitely put me on the spot with this one.
Yeah. We do it, everybody.
So I feel better knowing I'm not the only one.
Everyone who's been on this podcast has had to answer this question.
Oh, this is like a slow month. Not slow month. Slow season. Just the summer itself. Like,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
you definitely have to grind a little bit harder.
Yeah.
And this heat doesn't make it easy.
No.
Oof.
Yeah. Oh, trust us. You should have seen Marissa yesterday.
Oh my god, it was
pretty
bad.
Yeah. I don't know. So I mean, like any work that somebody needs anything.
Yeah.
I do a lot.
There's a whole
big,
list right here.
Yeah, no job too big or too small. Like, pretty straightforward with that. I don't know. That's about it, guys. I don't know. Like, that's tough.
Yeah. Well, dude, seriously, we're always looking for work, guys. Seriously, like as a creative. So,
Yeah.
like Kenny said, nothing's too big or too small. Just let us know.
I travel.
And if it fits in the calendar, he travels. And if it fits in the calendar, more likely than not, we got we got you. So, where can they reach you, Kenny?
I have like 3 emails. Let me figure out which
Okay.
one.
Yeah. Or you could just text us and we'll put it in the description.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
What's your IG?
At Kenny_Bobbyy with 2 Y's. 2 Y's.
Nice.
Same thing with Twitter. I'm never really on that. I usually I'm
Just
one of those
kinda-
ghost followers.
Yeah.
Like I'll go scroll through everything and I'll laugh and I'll screenshot like memes. But I never really put anything out. I never know what to say on Twitter.
Yeah,
I
was
know,
like-
me either. I have one. We have one for those Cocos. It
We're
was just like,
I see all this funny stuff. I'm like, damn, I wish I was that funny.
I'm just not that clever, right?
And then people come with these memes. I'm like, damn, that's so simple.
That's right.
Genius. It's genius. Like, one day.
Maybe one day we'll
Yeah.
be Twitter famous.
Yeah. That'd be
It's
cool.
still possible.
Eesh. It's like a lot of work. I
really
really kill
is.
with my Instagram.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Life we live.
Yeah.
The life we
That's
live.
how it is. We chose this life.
It is, I'm here for it.
Let's
I'm here
go.
for it.
Hey.
Well, thank you again,
Thank you guys.
Ken and Bobby, for being on the podcast.
You guys are the best.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Nice. And then.
Thank you guys for listening. I always forget the end spiel. I'm so bad at this.
Yeah.
Okay, like, share, subscribe, review, comment,
Rate.
rate.
Share with a friend. Did you say that already?
No, go ahead. Share with a friend. do all the
Do
things.
all that stuff
Do all the things.
that I tell you to do in all the other podcasts.
Yep. One of those
And
is right. So
Make sure to follow Kenny on the Instagram
yeah, we'll put all this stuff in the stuff below.
and hit him up if you have any jobs for him.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometime. See you in the next episode.
All right, guys.
Before we end this podcast, I just want to give a huge shout out to EV47. He's the one that made the beat for the beginning and end of this podcast. So you should definitely check him out because he's dope. And yeah, peace.
Yes.